Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. We have the First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith, Goddess Kelli, the Diva of Sports Debate, and our good friend who is ready to run outside and jump up and down because it's above freezing. CJ out of Chicago. Now, check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Marlon Welch, where they find their shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button. Now, ordinarily this time, it's time for funny ladies to get our giggle on, but we don't have a funny lady this week, but you know when we don't have a funny lady, then we get a parrot joke. Now, okay, so the parrot joke is, this is an old parrot joke, but we'll see if it gives you a giggle. The Magician and the Parrot. There was once a magician on a cruise ship who performed mainly sleight of hand tricks. Now, he had a regular spot on the ship's cabaret evening entertainment. Now, he was actually quite a good magician, but his routines were regularly being ruined by the onboard parrot, who would fly around squawking out and giving away his secrets like, it's up his sleeve. It's up his sleeve. Or, it's in his back pocket. It's in his pocket. Or, it's in his mouth. It's in his mouth. Now, the magician was getting pretty damn sick of this and threatened to kill the parrot if it ruined his act one more time and will get you. That evening, right at the climax of his act, just as he was about to disappear in a puff of smoke, the ship hit an iceberg and sank in seconds. Amazingly, the magician and the parrot were the only two survivors. The magician was lying on a piece of driftwood in a daze. As he opened his eyes, he could see the parrot staring at him out of its beady little eyes. The parrot sat there for hours, just staring at him, and eventually said, okay, I give up. What did you do with the ship? All right. But we don't have a funny lady, you get a parrot joke. First lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Des Bryant wishes he could fly far, far away into the arms of the New York Giants. Des has been on the market for over a week and hasn't gotten a nibble for his services. Is there a suspicion he is overrated and the owners want him to realize he will not be getting a big contract? Do the Giants need a receiver who can't run routes when they have Odell? Should the Eagles pick him up on a one-year deal with a lot of incentives? Claire Smythe, Alice Waters, Christessa Comerford, and Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Des Bryant, he believes he still is a big-time receiver that deserves a big contract. But teams have a different take on his abilities at this stage of his career. I mean, Des is really delusional, and he needs to be more realistic. Sources says that he wants to play in the East. Now, he does have a shot with the Giants, especially since they released Brandon Marshall, who for some reason just could not pass a physical. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Marshall. You know, he hasn't been wanting to play for a long time anyway. So, I mean, he has a shot. I'm going to give Des some props. He can get with the Giants. However, I don't think he needs to go to the Giants, and I definitely don't think he needs to be on the Eagles. And the Eagles, they need to stay far, far away from Des Bryant because they already dealt with a malcontent. If you remember, they had Terrell Owens on their team at one point in time. They don't need to bring Des Bryant to a championship culture. And I know Goddess Kelly doesn't want Des there either. So the best place for Des is in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers will be able to lift his play because you know Aaron Rodgers can do one thing. He can scramble and he can get that deep pass to Des Bryant because you know what? Des doesn't run any patterns. So when you don't run patterns, you need a quarterback that can get the ball downfield to you, and Aaron Rodgers can definitely do this. So I believe Des Bryant going to Green Bay, that would be a match made in heaven, and it just makes sense for Des Bryant. So he really need to come to his senses and consider the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if he can't get on the Packers, then yeah, he can go to the Giants. But hey, stay away from the Eagles. Goddess Kelly, I know you don't want Des on the Eagles. What are you saying about this?
I do not. I absolutely want nothing to do with Des Bryant, and it amazes me every time somebody that's a name, and as much of a washed-up has-been as Des Bryant is, he's still a name. But every time a name is released, there's Eagles fans all over the internet that are all like, oh my God, what if we got Des Bryant? Oh my God, we could get Des Bryant. And it's like, no. Why do we want this guy that's been another team's poison for years? If you look at it, the fact that Des Bryant is not on top of his game anymore, he's become kind of a cancer down in Dallas. He had that feud last season with Dak Prescott. He's always been, kind of in a feud with the media. He's just not a positive guy to have on your team. And the fact that he's kind of almost making demands, saying that he wants to stay in the NFC East, like, you know what, Rich, you don't have a choice. If you want to play football, you're going to play for the team that picks you up. Now, after your explanation, I kind of do agree that Green Bay is a good fit for Des Bryant. My good fit, I was thinking that he would do well in that neck of the woods, but actually in Detroit. I think that there's kind of a hole there for a receiver, and I think that he might bring a little something to that team that they've been slowly trying to improve themselves, especially after the loss of Calvin Johnson. And Des Bryant, of course, is no Calvin Johnson. Nobody is Calvin Johnson. But I think that he might be a good fit there, too. But, I mean, Des needs to stop being a little diva boy and realize that he's not the same receiver that he was under Tony Romo, and stop with the demands and looking for the big money because he's not going to get it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I know. I mean, that's a good fit, like you said, Detroit, but to put Des Bryant in the same word as Megatron, oh, no. Like you said, he's definitely not Megatron. I hear you, but anyway, CJ, what are you saying about this?
Well, I'm sorry. I just think he's a brat. And I think he needs to go back to the playgrounds and just get out of the whole thing altogether. That's the reason why they didn't want him in Dallas in the first place. He was being a brat. Then he wants to go someplace else and stir up some trouble. Why would Philadelphia want him to come to a championship where things are working well to have someone come and say, oh, no, you got to do it my way? Well, I'm going to pout, and I'm going to make a scene. If you don't do it my way, here we go again. Nobody needs that drama on a championship team. And to send him up here into the Midwest, he will get stomped with that attitude. That's what will happen to him. Yeah, you better send him to Detroit, because if he goes up there to Green Bay, those fans are not going to have it. And he's going to have to get out of that stadium some type of way and explain his performances. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah, send him over there.
Get him over there. Look, Chicago could use him. I don't know what you thought.
Now, first, wait a minute. Don't be wishing no Des Bryant on my Bears. CJ, well, let's hurry up and tape up First Lady's mouth, trying to sit him over there with us. You better keep him over there in that NFC East someplace if he can get a job. But I'm looking at, one thing is, Aaron Rodgers can make a lot of people look good. And if they actually got skills, they both look good together. the real skill that Dez Bryant had was he was a big, wide receiver, and he could out-muscle a lot of people. So Tony Romo could throw the ball, go, okay, I'm just going to go deep with Dez, and whoever they got on him, more than likely Dez can, out-muscle him and get the ball. Well, now that, NFL teams adjust. Now the big receivers are being met up with big cornerbacks and safeties and all them boys, and said, okay, well, we gonna get big too. And so now where Dez used to be able to outmuscle, a 6-foot cornerback, he looking at somebody who looking him dead in his eye, who can jump as high as he can jump. And the out-muscling ain't happened. And when you happen to have this one thing, and you can tolerate things when someone, is kind of like a step ahead. You'll tolerate things. But look, there's, not something that, would really kind of behoove you would be like being able to run a route. That would behoove you. Well, you ain't got to kind of do that when you're a step above. But when you done started being a step with or a step below, you start realizing there's a reason they design routes. And Aaron Rodgers can get the ball to about anybody. But, as CJ said, he's a brat. And in Wisconsin, they eat brats. That's what they do. They eat brats. They put them on the grill. And that grill Dez Bryant would be put on, let me tell you, his brat would be burnt.
Roasted.
And they'd be done threw it to a deer. That's how that would go. Now, the New York Giants are going, look, we got a chance because of the NFC East with teams being on the bottom, all of a sudden ending up on top one season later. So we got a shot that if we make a couple of moves that, hey, we can hang in there with Philly, with Washington, and the overrated Cowboys, and our fans, will say, hey, you know what, y'all done picked whoever in the draft, quarterback, something like that. We just hoping that y'all be competitive until the regime change is over. So the New York fans, they ain't tripping. They go, look, we know y'all gotta, do a whole bunch of stuff, but, and if y'all can at least if y'all can beat them Cowboys, we ain't gonna be, too upset when we know the big dog in the division, kind of got a Super Bowl ring. So we ain't gonna get ridiculous there. Now, as far as Philly, last I heard, ain't nobody in Philadelphia's management been hitting the sauce where they make that kind of move. Whatever they do, I don't think they drinking that kind of Kool-Aid where they gonna take Dez Bryant. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Well, that's saying a lot because we know they're not drinking, like you said, that Kool-Aid. But anyway, well, hopefully Dez will find a team, but he has to definitely change his ways about him. And, he has to realize this is the end of the road for him. So we'll see how he does. I just know he won't be on the Eagles and definitely not the Dallas. But anyway, Goddess Kelly, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my tears and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go, a boom, explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering, wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest, that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, Mama said knock you out. Oh, we are not talking about Rachel Cruz, Stephanie Izzard, or Nancy Silverstone. We are talking about the knockout punch Mother Nature has given to the start of the baseball season, with several cancellations because of snow and freezing weather. Is the baseball season just too darn long, and having it start in winter for most of the northern teams isn't helping? Should baseball make a move and simply start later and play a shorter schedule? just starting in the earliest of spring give those warm weather teams an advantage? Rachel Ray, Paula Dean, and Julia Child are asking, what you saying? And you know what? I absolutely agree. Being here right by Philly with this freezing cold winter, 2 days ago, I went to the hairdresser, and on my way there, it was hailing outside. It was below freezing, and it was hailing. You can't play baseball in hail. That's just not how baseball works. Baseball is supposed to be a warm weather sport, and I don't know if it's global warming, climate change, whatever. But when the season starts, it's not warm enough to play, and like it says, it does give an advantage to all you lucky suckers down south. No names mentioned, First Lady, but all you people with your 80-degree weather and your mid-70s and all of that. No, I'm not bitter. I promise I'm not bitter. But you know what? It isn't. It isn't fair, the teams up north, especially considering that baseball is international with our team up in Canada. It's even colder up there than it is down here. And yet they still have to play this warm weather sport outside in the snow and freezing cold. And you know what? 180-something games is too many. No fan can sit and watch that many games. So yeah, I think baseball should start right at the end of NBA. Or maybe at the conference finals times, that sort of thing. I don't know. But I mean, the interlapping at the beginning of the baseball season, nobody's watching it anyway because all the sports fans are too busy watching basketball. Nobody wants to watch baseball when it's basketball playoff time or hockey playoff time. If you're a sport head, you're not watching those early games of baseball because there's so many of them, they don't count. So it's not fair. It's cold, and it's raining, and it's snowing, and I hate it, and I hate winter so freaking much, and I hate the early season of baseball. So, First Lady, what are you saying?
Well, first of all, Goddess Kelly, the Marlins never have an advantage of anything. Even with the warm weather, they can't take advantage of their situation.
True.
And speaking of the Marlins, I actually went to a baseball game about 3 weeks ago. I saw the Marlins play the Mets. Because, I wanted to get to the new park, and I haven't been to a baseball game in years. I'm talking about at least 20 years. That was probably the last time I went to a baseball game. And I'm going to tell you, forget about the season. The game itself is just too darn long. I mean, the batters and the pitchers, they take their time. Major League Baseball, they need to add a clock to speed up their game. But now, in regards to the season, I disagree with you as far as when to shorten the season. I think it should be shortened at the beginning of this, not the beginning, at the end of the season. Because let's face it, this weather has been an aberration. It really, normally by the end of March, the weather is around 50, 60s, or, in most states. It's not 30, 40s. So, I mean, this to me is, like you said, might be global warming or something, but this is not usual. This is not the norm. It's been very unusual for the weather. But I don't think the playoffs and the World Series should be playing in October. Because just as in the earlier parts of the season, October, it gets really cold in some of these areas. And to me, baseball is known as a summer game, and they should have their World Series no later than September. September has to be the cutoff because, like I said, it gets extremely cold in certain regions. And you would want your best game, which is your World Series, starting in the earlier, before the winter time, the fall, late fall, because that's your best game. It doesn't really matter in the beginning of the season because the beginning of the season is the beginning of the season. Teams, they have postponements, they can make up those games and they can, really eventually make up being at a disadvantage in the beginning of the season because, the season is still long. They still have time to make up those games. So I agree to a point, but I think they need to shorten it at the end of the season.
You know what? I think First Lady and I should compromise, and we shorten it on both ends. We shorten the beginning of the season, we shorten the end of the season, and we just have baseball for just the summer months. But, TJ, what do you say?
Well, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with both of you because baseball is baseball. And if you're a fan of baseball, since last century, These things occur. And what it does is it helps to spread the money around to different regions of the country that might not be able to sustain themselves without baseball. And, I mean, you guys think of it as, well, these games, they don't really mean anything. But these preseason games, or these games that are played in Arizona, some people have been going to them for thousands of years, since last century. You know, they go to these little towns and they make their economy. If they weren't there, it wouldn't happen. And I'm just going to throw this out there, and I know that this is just not a possibility at all. But when people are cold, sometimes they drink more. And when they drink more, that means there's more sales of alcohol in the winter months than they are in the summer months when it's hot outside. And people are afraid to drink as much because their metabolism might not be so used to it. So you see, it's kind of like a 50-50 trade-off. While you're sitting there shivering up here in Chicago, Philadelphia, or down there in Miami, Arizona, or Houston, wherever you are, you're enjoying the game of baseball. And to say that it's boring, the only way that baseball could possibly be boring is if you're not paying attention to the people around you and the game at the same time. Because usually, especially at Wrigley Field, it's kind of like a party. So everybody is having a great time, and there's conversation, and there's camaraderie, win or lose. It's a game. It's not something like, I guess, a basketball game where you know you're going to see celebrities and stars all the time. No, you're going to see your plumber or your doctor or the kid next door. That's who you're going to see at a baseball game. And that's what makes it America's game and what makes it fun. And it kind of like goes full circle. You know, some people, that's all that they work is the baseball season. And that's all that they get is the baseball season's money. So if nobody comes, you know, they're on welfare. Who wants to be on welfare? We want everybody to make a buck.
Wow, we've got DJ, number 45, Hater Extreme, taking the capitalist approach to baseball. I like it. All right, Spitface, what you saying?
Only in America.
Only in America.
Yeah, you can't see, Vladdy ain't got nothing like that. But you know, I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of looking at it from a historical perspective. And to give an example, the NFL went from 10 games to 12 games to 14 to the current 16-game season, regular season. And there have been hints that they want to go to like 18 games, you know, try to do it. That don't do that stupid stuff. Now, that there is oversaturation. My concern is if you shorten the season, the records that people make. Like a lot of times, you know, folks, you know, want to compare, you know, eras, past eras to current eras. And, you know, it's hard to do because rules were different, you know, all sorts of factors, you know, how the game was at that time. So you really can't compare it. You have to let them stand on their own. Now, some eras, because of, you know, they just stand so great for a particular sport that even though you may have, quote, better athletes in the current era, for that time, matched up to any era, it's just like the Michael Jordan era. You know, that was an era just by them saying that. Now, but the records, here you have Jim Brown, who I say is still the greatest running back of all NFL, even back when they had the Staley's time, Jim Brown. Now, people have come along and surpassed this record. But are they really like, you know, greater? When he accomplished what he accomplished when they had 12 games, and they had the advantage of 2 more games and then 4 more games, you know, along with the improvements in the game and, different, different rules to protect, and, cause back then it was rough. And then after they got off, they finished the game and had to go do their real job because the game wasn't paying them no money. So now, okay, yeah, that's right. I'm the starting offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles. Whew. Glad I got my pizza delivery job on the side, because you didn't make no money back in them days. But that's my only. If you shorten it on either end, what happens to the records? Do the records start, because now they having to play less games than people who got records, had a chance to play. So it's the bottom line, guys. It's just all screwed up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, everybody makes some really good points on this one. I didn't even think about the record aspect. And, yeah, shout out to Jim Brown. I had the pleasure of seeing him at the Cavs parade, and he was amazing, even still as old as he is now. It was awesome seeing him with that trophy. It was great. But anyway, CJ, take us to break.
Well, the first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out with the reason these ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at adiagot.com and NBAsport.com. Here's your hint. They can souffle. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Marlon Welch on the first part of Shout Out. The music flows in and around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. Goddess Kelli, I can't wait to hear the music from Marlon Welch.
On a Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we will give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today, we are featuring music from Marlon Welch. So, DJ, let's hear the first track, I Love You.
You give me one thing, you give me somewhere to place my dreams, and I won't stop for you, baby. You keep pushing me higher, showing me things about myself that I just didn't see. I push for you, you pull me through. Nothing else I'd rather do. I'm for a while to make you smile. Nothing else I'd rather do. Come take my hand, let's start a dance. Nothing else I'd rather do. Let's movie date in bed by 8. All because I love you. Sober with no sign or warning. Oh, my personal trainer. I'm gasping for air and you keep on spotting me. You keep spotting me. Oh, I push for you, you pull me through. Nothing else I'd rather do. I'm for a while to make you smile. Nothing else I'd rather do. Come take my hand, let's start a dance. Nothing else I'd rather do. All because I love you.
That was I Love You. Is the track going to get a shout-out or the mute button? All right, now, for me, all right, Marlon Welch, you're sitting there, you're singing I Love You, but, like, I don't even know you, dude. Like, your voice was so auto-tuned. You had so much echo effect in there. I don't have any idea who you are. Like, you know, I couldn't love you. I don't know you. And, like, if you think of a song as, like, a work of art, it's like an artist with a canvas, and you keep painting, you keep painting, you keep painting, you come up with this beautiful piece of art, but then you keep painting over it because you're not satisfied with it, and then you end up ruining it. And that's what you did with this song. You were just doing too much, dude. Like, pare it back. Edit, please. Ugh. CJ, what did you think?
Oh, my. I'm trying to wake up. He said, I loved you. I thought I was being hypnotized into being...
Oh, no. The Dracula effect.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I mean, that was worse than the Chatty Cathy doll in the 60s. But, you know, he just needs to keep trying. Maybe another venture. We'll give him another try, but it was annoying.
Oh.
All right, so that sounds like 2 mutes. Fit face, what about you?
Hashtag me too. I just suffered audio abuse. Where can I get somebody please put on a Stevie Wonder song so I need some healing quick. I even I take Steely Dan. give me Steely Dan.
Steely Dan is good. What you talking about?
I'm trying to get some healing. That's what I mean.
Oh.
Please give me somebody, please, you know, because man, I'm like, now I didn't quite have the stalker effect that the goddess and CJ kind of pointed out, you know. So I'm kind of way, but what really upset me, I don't tell you, it upset me, and it did annoy me, is that don't come here lazy. You know, you sitting up here, you got some skills, and rather than do the wake, okay, you went for all the shortcuts you could find, and so you know, and what you ended up producing was something that came out of the mind of Victor Frankenstein. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't. It was big, ugly. And that's what you came up with. And then the other thing it made me think about was Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani. And it made me think about that skit with Giuliani and drag, because, you know, that's what you're doing. And Donald Trump, and they were smooching. Well, attempted smooching. I don't know. Giuliani played that role awfully good. And Donald looked like he liked it. But I don't like that track. Mute.
All right, First Lady, is it unanimous, or did you like Marlon Welch?
Well, no, it's not unanimously, and I don't understand what you guys are so hard on the man. First of all, as a woman, you always want to hear a man tell you he loves you. So, I mean, he said it enough, so that was the good thing about it. But it was a little auto-tune to it, but it's dance music, and dance music is like that. That's repetitive singing is in dance music. We really don't get too many artists on our show with dance music, and I'm not really a big fan of dance music, but if you like dance music, I think people would like the song. So I'm going to give it a yo. I'm not going to totally diss him the way you guys did, but I'm going to yo it, because hey, that's what dance music is all about. It's repetitive music.
I love you, First Lady. I love you, First Lady. I love you, First Lady. I love you.
I know we love to hear that from a man. I love you. I love you.
Ooh, it sounds to me like First Lady is getting a little taste of that vampire power that CJ was talking about. But let's get some water on her face, because I think that is the sound of our favorite our favorite underwater friend. It is time for Flip It.
That's right. It's time for Flip It. And I was thinking about Flipper and how Flipper would be like, look, if Flipper was in Lake Michigan, he'd be like, oh, no.
It's one of the cleanest
he would be booking a flight out of town. But it's time for Flip It while hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Now, Cleveland is down a game against them Pacers. Now, is it time for LeBron and the Cavaliers to hit the panic button? Beep, beep. Defend, as they say, don't pull on Superman's cape. LeBron will do what it takes to get them to the next round and beyond. No need to panic. Goddess Kelli, defend.
I mean, there's a reason why people say that LeBron is the second best player in NBA history, right behind Michael Jordan. Some experts even argue that he's better than Michael Jordan, more athletic, that sort of thing. He has been to the NBA Finals for the last 7 years. We talked earlier about eras. We're smack in the middle of the LeBron era. And he has proven time and time again that he can take that Cleveland Cavaliers team and put it on his back and get them to the NBA Finals. The East is still weak. The Pacers are kind of like, their warm-up game, that sort of thing. So they're just getting started, baby. You fear those Cavs. Fear them.
No panic in the goddess's voice. CJ, who's never panicked.
That's right. Because you can't pull with Superman's cape. You can't blow into the wind. And if you think you're going to mess with that big, tall guy, you got another thing coming. Because he's going to give 40 points every game if he has to take it all himself. You saw what he did. He could do triple, double, singles, turn around, jump up in the air, fall down, hurt his ankle, and keep on playing. And he's going to win. He's going to be there. You watch and see.
And he don't even wear red, white, and blue. First Lady, defend.
Well, I don't think of LeBron as Superman. I think of him as the king. And we have seen LeBron down before, and the king always holds the highest court over his opponents. Now, you remember when he was with Miami and with the Big Three, the first year together, and Miami and Celtics were playing, and the Celtics were up 3-2, and the Celtics needed one game in Boston to win, denying the Big Three to their first finals together? What did LeBron James do? LeBron came to that game with his angry face. He didn't speak to anyone, wouldn't speak to any of his players, his reporters, no one. And what did he do? He demoralized the Boston Celtics. This LeBron needs to reappear Sunday in order for the Cavaliers to beat Indiana. When LeBron puts a team on his back, he will get the job done. And I know the king is up for the challenge.
Here to the king. But this is flipping where we flip the script. Now, it looks like Indiana has found enough kryptonite for everybody but LeBron, and he can't win alone. The Cavs will be going fishing real soon. They need to hit the panic button. CJ, defend.
brought this on himself. He got rid of everybody else. He wanted a new team. Baby, you got what you got. Now deal with it. You're going to have to deal with those little players choking on you when you thought that they were going to come through. And you're going to be pouting in the end. That's what's going to happen. It's not the kryptonite of the Indiana. He did it to himself. Look at what little Wade did there all by his little self. He just wanted to show him. You got rid of me a bit too soon. You made your move a little too soon. And now you got to suffer. And you're going to have to place twice as hard just to try and lose to lose. So it's going to be just phenomenal this week. Yeah, watch and see. Kryptonite is coming right to the heart.
Kryptonite to the heart. The youngsters are choking. Goddess Kelli, who never chokes, the fan.
That's right. I never choke. You know it. But when it comes to kryptonite, I mean, if you look at LeBron James, the fact that the team has pretty much been dismantled twice this year, in the beginning of the season and then again in the middle of the season, they've got a lot of inexperienced players. With the exception of Kevin Love, he hasn't played with these starters in the playoffs before, and it's proving to be difficult for them. I think the real kryptonite is the fact that the Pacers, having won 2 games now, have pretty much assured that this is going to go to, 6 or possibly 7 games. So therefore, LeBron is not going to get the rest that he needs before going on. That's going to be the issue and what's going to be the Cavs' downfall, the fact that they're not going to get enough rest between series. So we know that the Cavaliers historically have, dismantled Toronto. But if they're coming off a 7-game series and then playing the Raptors, I don't know. It starts to get a little scary.
Panic button. All right. First lady is big and red, and they say panic.
First lady, LeBron and them will not even get to the next series, so he'll have a whole summer to rest because he won't be in the finals. I mean, in the past, LeBron would put a team on his back, but things are different for him. He's older, and he just doesn't have the strength to carry the entire load. It's his teammates. Like CJ said, his teammates are not stepping up. And unfortunately for the Cavs, Indiana has found the kryptonite. They have made LeBron a scorer. He likes to be a facilitator. He likes to pass the ball to his teammates and let them do most of the scoring. And he'll come in at the end and finish it. But LeBron can't do that because his teammates are not stepping up. When he gets the ball to them, they're not making the shot. And Indiana is really playing good defense against the other teammates. And the other teammates, like CJ, they're choking too. So it's just one of those things. It's not going to be LeBron's time this year. It's unfortunately because the Indiana Pacers, they definitely know what to do. And the Cavs will be going fishing in Lake Erie.
Oh, that first lady, that is too cold. They couldn't come down to Florida and do a little warm weather fish. Stick them in Lake Erie, and they still got ice. That is too cold. And on that note, CJ, please take us to break. Oh, mean first lady.
Hey, the truth will set you free. Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. So, CJ, over to you.
Thanks. I think we have something interesting for the panel and our listeners. Bus driver fired for watching TV behind the wheel. A tour bus driver in New York has been fired after passenger recorded him watching TV shows on his cell phone while behind the wheel. Barry Fisk captured video after the bus departed Manhattan at 8:30 a.m. Monday on a tour booked by company Get Your Guide. The video shows the bus driver watching TV shows on his phone while driving a busload of passengers to Woodbury Commons in Orange County. A Get Your Guide spokesman said the driver had been fired. In this case, the driver in question was in breach of local law and our own safety standards, and we regret that our customers, Barry Fisk, was put in an unsafe situation as a result. We've reached out personally to Mr. Fisk with a full refund and our sincere apologies.
That's a scary thought. That is a scary thought. I'm going not to anybody, because I'm like, put down the phone. It just ain't that
See, you
important.
just haven't been in an Uber car before. You just don't know.
It just ain't wasted.
He needs to get a DVR. He needs DVR.
Do something like that, And, it's just that people are too plugged in. Y'all need to step back from some of these electronic devices. And, I told somebody that I drove from Houston to Austin, and it's a really nice, pretty ride. And that I actually drove with no radio on or nothing, and just had my windows rolled down and listened to whatever was there. They wanted to have me drug tested. I'm like, they know. I'm like, you already know I wouldn't pass. What would that be? But I was wondering about them. All right. First, look, I done took up enough of the First Lady segment over to you.
Okay, I know. Flipper, anyway. It's time for Flip It Again. Looks like the Pelicans have found a can of whoop-ass and lead the Trailblazers 3-0. Will they sweep the series? Panel, defend. This is a rare air for the Pelicans. They will win the series, but Portland will win the next game. Goddess Kelli, defend.
I mean, if you look at what the Pelicans are doing, it is phenomenal. But how much can they keep it up without Boogie Cousins playing? And if you look at Damian Lillard, he's getting mad. I'm afraid. I mean, they've been doing a pretty decent job of trying to shut him down. But I think an angry Damian Lillard is a scary guy. So no doubt that the Pelicans are going to win the series. But I think Portland's going to sneak one in there. They're going to get this next one and take it to another game. Definitely. But the Pelicans, man, they're fun. They're a dark horse in this Western Conference right now. I like it.
Yeah, you believe in the Pelicans. I saw them picks you had. You were really on point with that one. All right, CJ, defend. The Portland will win the next game.
The Portland's got to win the next game because their emotions are involved. There are strong emotions. They might lose a series, but they've got to win one. They've got to come up striking with just one hit to them, and they're going to put all they got into this next game, and that's what's going to help them win.
Okay, they got to put it in there. They're going to have to win. Spitface, defend. Portland.
Yep.
Go ahead, Portland.
You're down 3-0, and no one wants to get swept. And, as they say, and teams have come back and made it competitive. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Trev? What you gonna do is y'all come out there starting and play some mean defense. Because that's what you gonna need to get up in everybody's face. And the bounce of the ball will go to Portland. It's hard to beat any team 4 games straight. The Blazers will get this one, but they going fishing. At least they ain't got to go to Erie.
Okay. Well, it has been truly amazing what the Pelicans have done to the Portland Trailblazers. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I mean, the Trailblazers are really playing well up into this the playoffs. So who would have thought that they would have been down 3-0? And I just think the Pelicans, being, they haven't been there before. They're going to come into the game a little bit overconfident, a little bit cocky, because, they got Rajon Rondo, and he's a little bit cocky basically when they're not up 3-0. So I just think this game for Portland is about pride, and especially about Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, because they have been totally outplayed, embarrassed by Rajon Rondo and Drew Holiday. So Dame Dollar and C.J. will have a breakout game and propel the Blazers to a victory, but they will lose the series. All right, this is where we flip it. Panel, what kind of broom should the Pelicans use? Because it's sweep, sweep, sweep. C.J., defend.
Oh, man, can you see these little pelicans just eat up all that fish? They just trail them, get them. Every time they think they're full, they eat up a little bit more. They're about to sweep them. Yeah, it's going to be a sweep. I don't know about pelican, but, they used to have this ghost pelican, man. That's what they used to call them in Chicago. They're going to be full of water. They're going to sweep them, and they're going to be crying, unfortunately, in Portland. Because they're going to say, how did these young bucks come up here with all this gusto and all this swag, just beat that booty? It's going to be fun. Got to tune in.
All right. Goddess Kelli, is it going to be sweet, sweet, sweet? Defend.
I mean, it is. Like you said, First Lady, I've seen something in this Pelicans team, and I am believing in them. I don't know if they're going to get past the Western Conference, but, hey, I am liking it so far. And everyone knew that Anthony Davis was just a giant beast, and he is absolutely beasting out in this series. It's crazy. Everybody knew that he was an excellent player, but he's really kind of taken this series on. If we look at what Drew Holiday and Rondo have been doing, oh, my God, it's amazing. It's fun basketball. This is what makes basketball playoffs enjoyable. Teams going out like that. It's fun. Sweep, 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 baby.
Sweep, sweep, and sweep. All right, Spitface. What kind of broom they going to use to sweep the Pelicans?
They can get that long broom, that one with the old tough straw on it, the real, so they can just sweep, in just a smooth motion, because the Blazers ain't show no reason that they not gonna get swept. Now, if you can show like, well, hey, look, you can see that, well, look, they ain't gonna get swept. No, they have shown nothing to indicate that they will not be swept, because everything they done did, the Pelicans done said match point scored. So they might as well, but the question for me, would they be even better with Boogie? I mean, 'cause chemistry mean a lot. So, hey, and then I got to hand it to Rajon. That boy done turned into a cool veteran.
He's a cool veteran. Hey, well, let's face it. Anthony Davis definitely is having a series, but Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo, their defense has basically strong-armed Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. They just can't do anything. I mean, these guys were really I think they were the top guards as far as scoring in the entire league, the two best guards. And they can't do anything because of the defense of the Pelicans. And the Pelicans, they're in uncharted waters. And Anthony Davis, he finally won a playoff game, but now he has a chance to win a playoff series. He is not going to squander this opportunity. And he and the Pelicans will continue to produce a can of whoop-ass. And Spitface, I have them using a push broom to sweep the Trailblazers back to Portland, Oregon. They go, push them back far. All right, Goddess Kelli, over to you for some jambalaya.
All right, we got a nice, spicy, saucy mix of jambalaya for you guys today. It's better to let someone think you're an idiot than to open your mouth and prove it. So, panel, how does this quote relate to stories that Tom Brady might retire? since he hasn't said he wouldn't. And you know what? For me, with Tom Brady, he's embarrassed right now. He let that underdog team, my Philadelphia Eagles, team that everyone said wouldn't do anything in the division, would be bottom of the division, the team that everybody said would be one and done after they lost Carson Wentz, the team that everybody said wasn't going to make it to the Super Bowl, the team that everyone said didn't have a chance against the New England Patriots without backup quarterback. You know, that Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl MVP, backup quarterback, Nick Foles. Yeah, Tom Brady, he is embarrassed. So, people are saying he might retire now, but personally, I think that he's going to prove himself to be an idiot, come back for another season, let himself get embarrassed again. He's over 40 years old right now. You can't keep playing quarterback when you're over 40 years old. It just doesn't work that way, dude. Sorry, you got to give it up, because next year you're not even going to make it to the Super Bowl if you come back. So don't come back for pride, because your pride is going to put you into the same position that Brett Favre was in, where you're going to be sending a Snapchat of your penis in 2 years. That's right. First Lady, what do you think?
Well, I just think the whole report about Tom Brady retiring is idiotic and crazy. I mean, why would Tom retire after balking when Belichick wanted to sign Jimmy G to keep him on the team? And if you remember, Bob Kraft had to intervene with this situation. So why would he retire? I mean, where did this report come from? I mean, I know where it came from, but I'm not going to mention it, and you guys going to have to figure that out yourself. But Tom is not going to quit. He didn't say he wanted to quit. He wanted to play for a few more years. This story is utterly ridiculous, and the reporter should have kept his mouth shut instead of proving he was an idiot.
All right. CJ, what you think?
Well, like you guys have said, I can't pretty much repeat too much of it, but I just think he wouldn't do it. His pride, his ego is too great. He's coming back, even if it means him being hurt and being on a cane for the rest of his life. He's coming back because he's just got that ego. He's been still practicing. He's still watching films as we speak. He's still taking his vitamins and trying to work it out. He's going to show that he can be what he needs to be. But these young bucks might hurt him. And that's the only thing I'm afraid of. But he's coming back.
You got your stalker on Tom Brady. You have to know that he's watching film right now, right this second. That's scary. You're going to be singing him some of that Marlon Welch, I love you stuff.
Right.
Oh, then he definitely needs to retire.
He's dancing. He's dancing. He's using it as dance music.
Oh, spit face. Take a bite of this jambalaya.
It is, this jambalaya a little spicy. But one thing, I'm with the First Lady. This is a case of a non-report, reported as if it was a report. Because Tom Brady, he didn't say he would, yes, he didn't say that he would not retire, but he didn't say he was considering that he would. He didn't say none of that, because he just ain't saying nothing. Then we try to, I ain't gonna say we, then someone, because they ain't got nothing better, more creative to do, words it like that's a real report. Well, because, you didn't go to eat the ice cream, does that mean you don't like ice cream? Watch this space. Come on. I think certain people have gotten caught up in the malicious intent of the heretofore known news as not truth kind of news. So now, instead of not truth kind of news, we're going to just not even news. Just stuff. And it ain't true. It's just ridiculous. Now, as far as Tom Brady, he did have a record set. He lost, they lost. But his, stats was record breaking. So, it ain't like, he's some, top liver out there. And, the man will, he's gonna get his farewell tour. He gonna go to every state, that last schedule, cause he's gonna let you know I'm retiring cause I want my farewell tour. I want every stadium I go to so that all your fans stand up and cheer me. Now that's some ego, where it's like, look, y'all, this is my last season. We playing for the big one, and every stadium I go to, all your fans gonna stand up and cheer me. It's the pinky ring. That's all I'm saying about it.
All right, absolutely. And when it comes down to it, this is the time of the football season that I call fantasy football news. We see it every year in between the Super Bowl and the draft, where there's all these just ridiculous speculation stories, and it seems like everyone is more crazy than the last. So this kind of thing with Tom Brady, it's not surprising, because these kind of weird stories that don't make sense, they come out every single year during this little period of time. But while that jambalaya digests, DJ, take us over to break.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Marlon Welch on Shout Out. Please stay tuned. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Goddess, over to you.
All right, we have got another performance from Marlon Welch. So, DJ, let's hear In the Crowd.
When you get into this groove, it makes you dance all night. You got a new attitude, and it feels so right. Nah, 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 take me high, 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 just the way I like it. Nah, 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 I'm not the guy, to waste my time. Feel the rhythm flow through you and I. Oh, everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Love the way you move. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. When you get into this groove, it makes you dance all night. You got a new attitude, and it feels so right. Nah, 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 take me high, 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 just the way I like it. Nah, 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 I'm not the guy, to waste my time. Feel the rhythm flow through you and I. Oh, everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Love the way you move. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Keep on moving on the dance floor. People moving all together. Feel the rhythm flow through you and I. Oh, everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Love the way you move. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd. Everybody's jumping in the crowd.
Okay, that was in the crowd? Is the track getting a shout-out or the mute button? All right, first off, I want to say that this one was a million times better than the first song that we heard from him. This one kind of reminded me of the kind of song that we would see in, like, one of those teenage dramedy TV series like Dawson's Creek or 90210, that sort of thing. Like, we'd see, like, Luke Perry and Jason Priestley, like, dancing along to it on the prom episode of the show. And that being said, I mean, the song is generic. It's fun, though, but it's not really fit for adult consumption. This is a teenage prom generic dance song for a 90s teen TV show. So I'm going to give it a yo, just because there was so much improvement from the first song, but it's not for me. Not for me. CJ, what did you think?
Well, at least we had the same categories in mind when we thought about it, either for kids or the seniors when it comes to doing those line dances, I tell you. That's what it reminded me of. Going to those fundraisers, and, they all jump up and they start doing their little line dance to it. Get up and dance. Be it kids or seniors, they would be into it, I'm sure. That's the reason I'll give it a yo. Much better.
First Lady? Yeah, definitely. First Lady, what did you think?
Well, again, he stayed in his lane. It's the type of music he's obviously recording is dance music, maybe a little bit like you said, teeny boppish, but I'm going to give him a shout-out because, like I said, that's the type of music he performs, and he did it well.
All right, Spitface, what did you think of that one?
This one, I'm like, he stayed in his lane, and I'm just going to say that the whole track was much better than the first one, just as a track, and a lot more balanced. And but I will say that I'm going to give him a shout-out for staying in his lane, and really it was put together nicely for his lane. Way much better. You could tell he put a little effort into this one. And I will say that if he really decided to not be lazy, got enough skill to branch out where it was, I'll say, more expand the listening audience. But it would take like a little more work. But I think the guy got enough skill and talent, but do he have enough, leave them little nappy-headed girls alone? Hashtag me too. Back to you guys.
All right, so the moral of the story is stay in your lane and don't abuse the auto-tune. So that is the end of Shout-Out, and if you like what you heard from Marlon Welch, check him out at marlonwelchnow.com. That's MarlonWelch now.com. And if you would like to be heard, or if you have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. And now my favorite part of the show, over to the First Lady for the pick.
The hardwood picks have started. Will CJ retain her crown? All right, well, we have 3 weeks of results. So let me make this quickly. From March 31st, we didn't have a recording, but CJ, you ended up with 0 points. Me, Goddess Kelly, and Spitface, we had 100,000 points. From our 4-7 show, CJ ended up with 100,000 points. Spitface, you had 0. Goddess Kelly, you had minus 200,000, and I had minus 400,000. From last week, we didn't have taping, but Goddess Kelly, you ended up with 325,000. Spitface, you had minus 370,000. CJ, you had minus 540,000, and I had minus 635,000. And the grand totals as of today are: Goddess Kelly is in the black with 225,000 points. Spitface, you're coming up second with minus 270,000 points. CJ, you have minus 440,000 points, and I have a whopping minus 935,000 points. Boy, oh boy, do I need to catch up. So let's get to this week's picks. By Friday of next week, Pacers will win series against Cavs. 150,000 for the correct answer, minus 150,000 for the incorrect answer. I will say yes. CJ. Did CJ tune us out? CJ.
CJ might. She might.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said what? We didn't hear you. Must have been on mute. The Pacers are going to lose?
No, the Pacers are going to win.
Okay, so you say yes. Goddess Kelli.
No, 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 no.
Spit face.
I'm rolling with the Pacers.
Yes, okay. Rockets sweep Timberwolves. 150,000 for the correct answer, minus 50,000 for the incorrect answer. CJ.
I'm going with the Rockets.
So the Rockets will sweep Timberwolves. You say yes. Goddess Kelli.
Yes.
Spitface.
Push broom.
I say no. Moving along. Pelicans sweep Blazers. 50,000 for the correct answer, minus 75,000 for the incorrect answer.
Oh, wait a minute.
Goddess Kelli.
Yes.
Spitface.
Push broom.
I say yes. CJ.
Yes.
Okay.
And CJ, was there a correction that you was trying to put on in there?
I'm trying to, because I'm not saying that he said the Rockets are going to sweep it, but they're going to win the series. So.
Well, that's not what the question was, CJ. Rockets sweep Timberwolves. You say yes or no?
No, they're not.
No? Okay, you want to switch it to no.
No, they're not going to sweep them.
Okay.
They might win. They're going to win.
That's not the question. All right, let's move along. Jazz are up 3 games against OKC. Producers, I don't understand these questions. Do you understand that question? Can you explain that one?
Yeah, that by Friday, the Jazz will have 3 wins against OKC.
Oh, okay. All right, I understand. Okay,
yeah, so it may be 3-2, 3-1, but the Jazz gonna have the 3.
Okay, by Friday. Okay. Spitface.
Oh, the Jazz. Okay.
I am gonna say
OKC be lucky lucky they got what they got.
I'm gonna say yes to CJ. Did you understand the question?
I'm trying to make sure too, because I'm saying that they're not. That you're saying that they're going to be 3-zip.
No, I didn't say they'd be. I said that they would have 3 wins. 3 wins. They would have 3 wins against OKC by Friday.
No.
Got it, Kelli?
I'm going with no.
Okay. 76ers send Miami fishing. I say yes.
Oh, first lady, ye of little faith. Ye of little faith.
Look, and I'm going to the game today. I got rid of a few. I'll be going to the game today. So anyway, CJ.
I'm going with Philadelphia.
Okay, but CJ, let's listen to the question. That's not the question. 76ers send Miami fishing, meaning that the series will be over before Friday.
That means they're going to win, yes.
Okay.
76ers.
Goddess Kelli?
I'm going to go with, let's see, Game 6 is supposed to be Thursday, so I'm going to go with yes.
Okay. Spit face?
I really want the series to go a little bit longer. Get D-Wade just one more game before he hang up the sneakers. But it ain't gonna be so.
You say yes.
But it's a lot warmer fishing in Miami than in Lake Erie.
I would have said no, but since Embiid is back, absolutely not. The Sixers will win. Bucks are up 3 games against Boston. 150 for the correct answer, minus 50 for the incorrect answer. CJ.
Boston.
No.
They're not going to be up 3 games to the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks are not going to be up 3 games to Boston. Boston's going to win.
Okay, so you say no. Goddess Kelly?
Yeah, I'm going to go with no.
So the Bucks will not be up 3 games against Boston?
No, they won't.
Okay, spit face?
I'm going to toss a coin and roll that no.
You say no. By Friday. I don't know what the schedule is. Let's see. Well, it's 2-1 now. So I'm gonna say no. I'll have to go with no. I need to. Actually, you know what? I gotta change this. Let me say yes because I need to get on this. I'm already down 935,000 points. Okay. Okay, it's time we'll see how we do with our predictions. Obviously, I have not been doing that well, but it's time for our panel to give their outrageous predictions. Goddess Kelly, what is your outrageous prediction?
I'm going to keep rolling with these NBA stuff and with the Pelicans, and I'm going to say that Pelicans will go to the Western Conference Finals.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction.
You?
CJ, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that in chess boxing that the referees are going to call the new champion for drug use.
Okay. Face, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is the Green Bay Packers will have a losing season.
That means they got Des Bryant.
Wait, I didn't say that they go insane. I don't want to put that on them, y'all. I ain't going to have all them cheese heads sending me mean emails and posting on Facebook and stuff.
Okay.
No, I didn't say they do nothing crazy like that, but they doing a sneaky rebuild, and so they're going to have to lose.
My outrageous prediction is that Triple G will lose his fight on Cinco de Mayo because he thought he was going to have Canales Alvarez, and he's going to come in overconfident. That's my outrageous prediction.
Triple G going down.
Okay. Now, speaking about I Love You, you remember Marlon Welch? He was singing I Love You. Ladies, when searching for love, as the elders used to say, make sure you find your equal yoke. Goddess Kelly, how can the listeners check out your other broadcasts?
Well, you can subscribe to me live on blogtalkradio.com/momentumshift to check out my show, The Red Zone with Kelly and Rashawn, bringing the sexy back to sports. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Red Zone Live and on Facebook at The Red Zone Live. You can catch me on demand anytime on my sponsor website, goingfor2.com. That's goingfor2.com. You can follow me on social media on Twitter and Facebook, KELLIERUTTAR.
All right. Goddess Kelly is everywhere. This is CJ on Facebook, /Sabor, SABOIRE. She's on Instagram and Twitter, and you can check me out at Twitter at Cheryl Smith at First Lady of Sports. Please visit our new website, BrasPantiesSports.com, where you will find links for each of us and our original episodes, and the Bearskin Lounge with Dizzy Mac. This has been Cheryl Smith, CJ, Goddess Kelly, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
I be liking that Goddess Kelly is bringing the sexy back to sports, but I got to get a permission note.